I like to be involved. I like to be engaged. I can't just, sit still. And I still have an interest in giving back and contributing.
As a faculty member and administrator who has traveled to more than 40 countries and served at Indiana University in one role or another for more than 55 years, there's probably no better ambassador for IU and the School of Optometry than Ed Marshall, who recalls the early sights, sounds, and smells of his early days visiting the IU campus.
And I remember my mom and I coming out here and experiencing Bloomington for the first time. I think we stayed in the Union, and every time I walk into the Union, I still have a remembrance of that smell that the Union had, back in those days.
As a young man, Ed understood the challenges facing many African Americans throughout the United States. And during the mid-1960s, he also understood that one of the most powerful stages in which to make a stand for increased rights for African Americans and other disadvantaged groups was on America's college campuses. And as a student at Indiana University, Marshall found many opportunities to help lead peaceful protests to help enact change in the community.
The movement was as much about sharing power and sharing authority and pushing for a set of aspirations as it was about anything. Okay? Ed and those students in my generation, we realized that.
After graduating with a degree in biology, Marshall entered the IU School of Optometry. As one of the only African Americans in the program, Ed decided to use his skills as a civil rights organizer to help inspire a new generation of African American students entering the profession.
We use our spring breaks to travel throughout the Southeast, primarily to historically black colleges and universities, to talk to African American students about the profession and to try to interest them in applying to optometry, and more specifically to IU. So we were now using our activism in a different way.
Ed started a clinic on the west side of Bloomington to help provide eye care and other health care services to underserved populations around the city. This inspired him to pursue an advanced degree in public health, which he then applied to leadership positions in health administration throughout the state.
I was asked to become the founding chair of the Minority Health Advisory Committee for the State Department of Health. And so now I'm working at the state level, looking at trying to affect changes, policy changes, and then ultimately changes in practice that was going to affect a larger body of individuals.
I would say Ed is really very culturally competent, and I'm not looking at so much, race, ethnicity, but just in general, adapting and tailoring programs, care to different constituencies.
Ed used the model he developed at IU for expanding health care to vulnerable populations and developed new programs that could ultimately be established in other countries that had similar challenges. These included the Philippines, Malaysia, and other countries in the Pacific Rim, as well as programs in Brazil, Peru, and throughout South America. His influence at IU can be seen through his many appointments over the years and his help in organizing 2 schools of public health in Bloomington and Indianapolis. But Ed Marshall's influence in the realm of public health is truly worldwide.
Coming to IU, meeting other individuals, being able to have the types of conversations that I was able to have, given the types of opportunities that I was given, and being able to take advantage of those opportunities in a constructive way, I think has the imprint of IU all over it.